So now, the question staring us in the face is pretty obvious. Are these two entirely different kinds of wrath? This brings us to a really fascinating theological loophole that some interpreters like to use. They argue that, okay, maybe believers are indeed saved from the judicial courtroom sentence, the orge, just like Paul promised. But, they suggest, that doesn't necessarily mean believers get a free pass from experiencing the eruptive, chaotic thumos, the outbursts happening down on earth during the tribulation. And honestly, at first glance, parsing the words out like that sounds pretty convincing, right?
But there's a massive problem with that theory, and honestly, a pretty huge textual twist. What's super interesting is how the book of Revelation actually handles these two words together. Take a look at Revelation 19:15. It says, the fury, thumos, of the wrath, orge, of God Almighty. Notice what's happening there. The text doesn't separate these two words. It doesn't treat them like two different phases or totally separate categories. It actually stacks them together, side by side, in the exact same moment. Both words, completely unified.
As scholars who spend their lives studying these ancient manuscripts point out, what we're looking at here is not distinction, it's intensification. The phrasing isn't describing two different judgments, where you might get saved from one but get hit by the other. Rather, it's one unified, intensely magnified expression of divine justice. The tribulation isn't just an emotional, passionate wrath, and it isn't just a calm, judicial wrath either. It's the absolute fullness and extremity of both, completely aligned and poured out all at once.
So here's the absolutely crucial point. If God's wrath in the end is unified, if orge and thumos merge into one singular, terrifying event, why would his promise of deliverance to believers only be partial? Think about it. If Paul promises deliverance from the wrath to come, and Revelation describes that exact wrath using both terms stacked on top of each other, many argue the simplest, most logical reading is that believers just aren't appointed to any of it, which naturally brings us to the big question of how that deliverance actually happens.